Hi everyone, this video is the first part of the series on complex numbers. Now the complex number system was developed when scientists um, encountered problems while trying to solve equations such as x squared plus 1 equals 0. Now to solve this, we subtract 1 from both sides and then we have x squared equals to minus 1, and then take square root of both sides to give x equals to plus or minus square root of minus 1. But the root of minus 1 does not exist. So we use the symbol I to denote the quantity root of minus 1. And so the solution to this equation becomes x equals to plus or minus I, where I equals to square root of minus 1. Now, by definition, a complex number is a number of the form z equals to a plus ib, where a and b are real numbers and I equals to square root of minus 1, or I squared equals minus 1. A is called the real part, while B is called the imaginary part. Now there is a concept called the complex conjugate. The complex conjugate of Z is denoted by Z bar and is given as A minus IB. You simply change the sign of the imaginary part. So plus becomes minus. If the complex number is A minus IB, the conjugate becomes A plus IB. Let's see an example. If Z, for example, equals to minus 2 plus 3i, then the complex conjugate will be equals to minus 2 minus 3i. So we only change the sign of the imaginary parts. And if z equals to 5 minus 7i, then the complex conjugate of z will be equals to 5 plus 7i. So the complex conjugate changes just the sign of the imaginary parts of the complex number. Now let's see how to carry out arithmetic operations on complex numbers. So if I have two complex numbers, z1 equals to a plus ib and z2 equals to c plus id, then z1 plus z2 equals a plus ib plus c plus id. And this gives a plus c plus b plus d. That is, we add the real parts and the imaginary part respectively. The real part of this is a, the real part of this is c, so we add both, and then we also add the imaginary part to give this. Likewise, if I have z1 minus z2, that will be a plus ib minus c plus id, and this gives a minus c plus b minus di. So you subtract the real parts and the imaginary parts respectively. Let's see some examples. If z1 equals to 4 plus 3i and z2 equals to 2 plus 6i, then z1 plus z2 equals 4 plus 3i plus 2 plus 6i. And this gives, so we add up the real part. 4 plus 2 gives 6, plus 3 plus 6 gives 9i. Also, z1 minus z2 gives 4 plus 3i minus 2 plus 6i. And this gives, so I subtract the real part. 4 minus 2 gives 2, plus then 3i minus 6i. That gives us minus 3i. And this is equals to 2 plus times minus is minus 2 minus 3i. We can also multiply two complex numbers. So if we have z1 times z2, that gives 4 plus 3i times 2 plus 6i. And this gives, so we multiply them 10 by 10. 4 times 2 gives 8, plus 4 times 6i gives 24i, plus 3i times 2 gives 6i, and 3i times 6i gives 18i squared. And this gives 8 plus 24i plus 6i gives us 30i. Now, I squared equals to, remember, I squared equals to minus 1. So we have minus 18 because I squared is minus 1. So minus times plus gives minus 18. And this gives 8 minus 18 is minus 10 plus 30i. So Z1 times Z2 gives minus 10 plus 30i. We can also divide Z1 by Z2. That is 4 plus 3i divided by 2 plus 6i. Now, to carry out division of complex numbers, we multiply the denominator, or we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the complex conjugate of the denominator. And the complex conjugate of the denominator is 2 minus 6i. So multiply the numerator by 2 minus 6i and also the denominator by 2 minus 6i. And so this gives, so we multiply the terms up. We have 4 times 2 gives us 8. 4 times minus 6i gives minus 24i. 3i times 2 gives us plus 6i. 3i times minus 6i gives minus 18i squared, over 2 times 2 gives 4. 2 times minus 6i gives minus 12i. 6i times 2 gives plus 12i. And 6i times minus 6i gives minus 6 times 6 is 36i squared. And this gives 8 minus 24i plus 16i gives minus 18i. And then I squared is minus 1. So minus times minus gives plus 18 over, we have 4 here, minus 12i plus 12i cancels out. And then I have, remember that I squared is minus 1. So minus times minus gives us plus. So we have plus 36. And this gives 8 plus 18 gives us 26 minus 18i over 4 plus 36 is 40. And this can be written as 26 over 40 minus 18i over 40. You can also reduce it to the lowest term. 2 in 26 is 13 over 20 minus 2 in 18 is 9 over 20i. And so Z1 divided by Z2 is 13 over 20 minus 9 over 20i. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, you can drop them in the comment section. Thank you.